like, I want to be a magic girl. I want to have a magic wand and this thing, and I want to fight demons, and you know, I want to see. She's like, I want to be a magic. I feel the anime has the thing going for him, and that's passion, right? Yeah, passion. It's like, find your passion. Her passion is to be cute magic girls, right? It's her dream, right? Gojo and how Gojo and Marin first meet, right? And had the first kind of meet. She first the first time they actually get together, right? So to speak. It's of course because she's really into, hentai characters. Yeah. And Gojo's like, oh, she's gonna bully me for being into, dolls, right? He's like, I'm into hentai. He's like, okay, she's just a crazy woman. Certainly, I feel the animes. If you ignore the cosplay and everything else, right, and the romance, I feel like the theme of the anime is like, follow your passion, right? The thing that I can explain easily here when it comes to language is that here, right, for example, because I speak Japanese to at least an extent, right? And that makes these kind of scenes, I have to say, more meaningful, right? Because now here, Marin is basically asking Gojo out. She's like, let's go together. But the word she's saying in Japanese, right, can of course be, I'll say, interpreted, right, in different ways. As of course English too. But if you actually speak Japanese, I think it's easier understanding this joke and confusion, right? If you don't speak Japanese, it's a little harder, I think, in some comedy and also romance aspect, right, to understand maybe the nuance, right? So, for example, one of my absolute favorite mangas ever, right, and I have the Blu-ray DVD one, is a silent voice, right? Voice of a sound, right? Kono Katachi. And in that anime, when she basically tells him, spoilers that, whatever, she tells the guy, right? I don't spoil too much here. Amazing storyline, best manga ever, right? Saddest manga ever. But anyway, same author did towards To Eternity. When the girl, Ninomiya, she asks him out, she's like, I love you, right? She's like, ski. She tells him that she loves him, but she's deaf, so she can't speak that well. She's mute, but she's deaf. She can't speak that well. And she's trying to tell him that she loves him in Japanese, but the word, like ski or daisuki, is like, I like you, I love you, right? Ski is just like, I like you. It's kind of the same word as moon, which is also ski. So moon is ski in Japanese, but like is also ski. And if you say daisuki, right, it's like, I like you a lot, right? However, they are not spelled the same. Not only in kanji, but the katakana, the hiragana. The hiragana is also different, right? So moon is spelled actually with a TSU sound, ski, but you don't say the U. And ski is just an S2 so they're spelled slightly differently. But anyway, that kind of confession scene, of course, is much more understandable if you speak Japanese, because she's saying something, right? And I can understand his confusion because it's the same word for moon and like or love, right? In that sense, especially if she can't really pronounce it because she's deaf, right? She can't really pronounce the word. It's a very tiny difference, right? How you pronounce it. And she can't really do that, right? So, because again, she's deaf. And here, this scene is kind of similar. Now, of course, Marin doesn't have the excuse of being deaf. She's being a coward, no. But she doesn't have the excuse, right, of being a deaf girl. But yeah, I think that is what I point out. That scene is a really good scene. But I think it also, I see in comments here in the live chat, yeah, I think that when it comes to the language barrier, I can see this scene being slightly harder to accept, maybe, right, if you don't speak Japanese. Because again, I'm watching it, right, just in anime, on TV, no subs, so I'm just, watching it in Japanese, right, and just thinking, okay, how is this said in Japanese? And of course I laughed at it, and it's a little bit cutesy how she's faced, right, but I think it's a good point, right. I can see it in the subtitle, it might sound more stupid, how she's like, how she basically is confessing here, I want to be together. And he's just like, together? Go together? He's like, yeah, let's go together. Yeah, go together. But in Japanese, it sounded more, ambiguous. Yeah, in Japanese, her line is a little more like, let's be together. But it also could be seen as together as, hang out together, right? But I think in English, the translation is basically, wanna be my boyfriend, right? More or less. So, but still, a really good scene. Yeah, it's so adorable. It's like, God damn it. This is like the most romantic beach episode that I ever seen, man. She's just so adorable. Sitting there afterwards. I almost asked him out. He misunderstood me. God damn it. It was really adorable. But I will say this thing though. I really love the anime. I think it's one of the greatest romance animes ever, right? I have to say this is cliche though, that the girl basically asks him out, right? Kinda, right? And most guys, in reality, I don't know if they would get it, but, you know, some men would get it, and that are more good at reading, you know, the situation, right? But of course, a typical main character in anime is like, oh yeah, let's be friends forever. That's what I meant! Yeah, so of course, he's gonna misunderstand it. But it's a really good scene. The only thing I would say here, again, I'm an anime only, so I don't know where we can go, right? The only thing I will say, that I have high faith, right? Again, greatest romance anime ever, in my opinion. But if they keep doing these scenes, right, then I would say the anime might reach it, right? It's fine if she fails once or twice, right? But I think unfortunately in most animes, rom-com animes, the girls keep doing these scenes, right? Like most horror animes, right? One of the girls, or most of the girls, they keep doing these things like say 6, 7, 8 times, right? Then it starts getting silly. This feels like a cliche scene. It's a really good scene, but it feels kind of like you've seen it before, right? But I think the problem is that yes, you have seen it before, because in most animes, this kind of scene is like repeated, you know, over and over and over, even in the same show. And then it starts getting stupid, right? Because then the guys should really get it. So that Marin fails now, I think it's completely fine. As long as she doesn't fail too many times, right? Because then it's gonna be kind of stupid. If she keeps failing and he never gets it, yeah, then it's gonna be just like, okay, then we're going into, you know, tropey anime territory where it's like basically end of the horror, right? As long as she fails a few times, learn from her mistake, right? And maybe next time it's more, obvious or more direct with her approach, right? Try to flirt with him, you know, then it's better. As long as she keeps evolving her strategies, right? Then I think it's fine, right? Now, let's talk about passion. Passion, baby, passion, right? This, I feel, otherwise, of course, was the message, right, this anime has. And that is like, follow your passion. So, we see her backstory, explaining that, you know, she grew up, right, watched stuff like Sailor Moon or whatever, you know, Magic Girl was that I'm wearing my Sailor Moon shirt. And she always dreamt of, like, becoming, you know, a sailor soldier or whatever, Magic Girl, I mean, you know, Mao girl, right, saving the world, fighting demons, whatever, right? And she had, you know, the outfits and bot thing, right, when she was older. And she's like, oh my god, I was so cute, and I felt empowered, and all that's right. And, you know, and now she becomes into that passion, right? I think it's a really good scene, because this is what I feel otherwise really combine the cats, right? If we ignore everything else, that he likes to do Hina dolls, she's a cosplayer, and they can combine their hobbies, right, and so on. If we ignore everything else of the anime, passion, follow your passion, like that is the anime's key, right? Because what Gojo is so afraid of in episode 1 of Marin is that he's gonna be bullied, right? He's used to being bullied, like a Hina dolls. He's used to having, you know, no friends, and everyone hates him, right, and so on, for the Hina hates him, but he's not like extremely bullied, right? But he's so much bullied. And he's afraid, of course, that Marin's gonna make fun of him. He's a hot guy, right? So he's like, oh, she's gonna hate me, right? So I think it's really, really good that is a red line in anime, right? Because of course Marin is like, oh, I love this erogates, oh, hentai is awesome, man! And she goes all crazy, right? And he's like, whoa, holy shit, this woman is insane! She clearly is not making fun of me, because no, she's into it, right? First he thinks she's trolling him, right? First he believes that she's just lying about, you know, liking hentai games or whatever, right? But then she goes into details, and he's like, okay, no, this woman is an otaku, she's a super passionate otaku girl, okay, yeah. But of course, that's why they like each other right at the beginning. Because they both have a very strong passion for something, right? They both have a strong desire to do what they like, right? And then this third character appears, and, you know, she's her passion too, right? And she's just the photograph passion. So, that is certainly, I think, the message of the anime otherwise. If you ignore the love and everything, right? It's about passion. It's about, you know, follow your dreams, you know, do what you want, right? And both, like, respect, but also like people, right? You like people that actually follow their dreams, right? That do what they want, that follow their passion. And I certainly agree, right? To an immense first time and so on. But, and I say it again here, I want to emphasize this again, because, you know how I am, some people Myrmonden's love otherwise now. But certainly, I always say this thing, right? You never want to be with someone, doesn't matter gender, doesn't matter if it's trans or whatever, right? It's like, you never want to date someone that has no passion. Those people are usually boring, right? It's just boring. People have no passion, and unfortunately, a lot of people don't have a passion, right? You know, I have a lot of passions. Obviously, I like anime, but I like anime and gonna play Elden Ring later, right? You know, I like games and so on, right? And then I really see it, right? It's just like, for example, as I mentioned again, right? If you go out with a girl, you date this girl, right? And you always ask her, what's your passion, right? What you do? Maybe it's a passion, it's a hobby, right? What's your hobby? And if I date someone and I ask them, what's your hobby? And they're like, hang out with friends and, watching TV. Yeah, but that's not the hobby, okay? I will completely be so uninterested in you, right? If I date someone and they're like, whatever. Or even with other coworkers. Same thing, yeah. Same thing, like for example, this depends a little bit on passion though, but like I remember my first day in college, and I had this new classmate, right? He talked about hobbies and so on. This is like 20 years ago, I was an old man, right? And he was like, and so we went to engineering school, right? And his passion was coding. He's a very good coder. This guy's amazing coder. What's Spotify now? Amazing coder. But I asked him like, "What's your passion?" He's like, "I code." And I was like, "Who you code?" I mean, yeah, that's like what we do at school. I code afterwards too, right? So, but this guy, I felt it was kind of boring because he only can do coding, right? But I respect him a lot because he codes at school, goes to code, right? No, he's a coder at Spotify. His life is he goes to code at Spotify, and then he goes home and he codes more on his products, right? And he makes a lot of money because he both codes at Spotify and then he codes like websites and apps or whatever. Right? He pays for that, right? Consulting afterwards. He just codes all the time. Right? He codes like 12 hours a day, right? The guy is crazy, but he loves it, right? He's making a lot of money. He's an amazing coder, and again, Spotify guy, right? Like senior programmer or lead programmer for Spotify. Obviously, like, an incredibly good guy. I feel he's honestly somewhat bored to talk to because he only knows coding, right? But he has a passion. He follows the passion, right? And I feel those kind of guys are still rather hang out with than some other classmates, right? So 20 years ago, when they just have no passion, right? Because the other guys are like, what do you do at school? And they're like, I don't know. I just go home and watch TV or something. I just put what's on, right? I mean, they're not even like into a TV show. They're like, I just watch the fifth channel and whatever they produce, I watch, right? That's so boring. Who wanna be friends with those people, right? That is really boring. And so it's not only about romance, right? But I think certainly in romance, you don't want to be with someone who doesn't have anything going for themselves, right? Like my friend, that is his passion is coding, and he has like 2 jobs or something like that. That's like really good passion because he makes a lot of money too. But whatever, bird watching, whatever, right? Go to the gym, whatever, yeah. Stay in shape, right? Like some kind of passion. Right? I also have passion with the gym, right? I was thinking about it earlier today that I spent so much money because after I bought Elden Ring, I went to the store and I eat for like $200 a day, but I eat so much food, right? So that's my passion, being fast, right? But holy shit, inflation, like I spend so much money. I need to get a new job so I can pay for my food bills. I easily eat probably for like $100 at least a month, easily. No, a month, a week, holy shit, a month is like nothing. Just today I bought food for $100, what I'm saying, holy shit. So that's a passion, right? Exercising and eating, yeah. But anyway, I think this anime message is really strong, right? And I love to see later on too, when of course go about this kind of stuff too, right? It's not all about the romance and ass, right? It's also about, people really caring about what they're doing, right? And I really say that thing, honestly. I mean, I genuinely mean it. Like, all my friends, love interests, whatever, people I smash, whatever, they've always been like this, right? I never hang out with people in my life they don't have a passion or they don't have like a hobby they really burn for, right? And I think this is what I emphasize. It's not really important what it is, honestly. If you like bird watching, I hate bird watching now, but if you like whatever, marathon running or whatever, right? The important thing is to have something to strive for and have something you want to improve and something you want to, collect or whatever. Oh, I want to collect stamps. Okay, but you're doing something with your life, right? It's like, my brother, he's an artist, right? Likes to do art stuff. He also collects like the silver and so on. He likes the silver coins. He gave me like a silver coin in his Christmas present. Like one of his collectible silver coins thing. Yeah, like that's pretty cool, right? You got a passion for that. I like anime, manga, so on, like games. I like stock market, I have a passion for buying stocks. It's making money, but also, I'm interested in tech, right? I just feel this is I don't know. I just feel it's a really good message in anime. I'm just getting really deep on this thing, but I really mean it, right? I feel it's such an important message that I so much agree in that, because not to be this like, oh my god, humans, but I do honestly feel that most people don't have this, right? They don't have this. They don't really, unfortunately, care about improving. Most people just kind of go the daily life and just like, whatever, go to work, pay the bills, go home, right? So this is what the anime is nice too, right? Because you really feel for this character. At least I do a lot, yeah. And I love seeing them growing so right. But Passion, great episode, guys. I mean, otherwise, and I think it was great because it was really fitting how her little sister, with the big titties, that she likes, you know, the camera thing, right? So has the older sister wants to be a magic girl, and you know, big sister, the tiny, bigger but tiny sister, a younger sister can work the background, right? But it was nice too because you know it's her passion and it was fitting too. Because she was like a shy, a little more introvert. Her sister's a Sundra little girl, right? But the bigger girl is a shy introvert. So it was fitting too that she was, of course, working behind the scenes, right? But I think it could be cute if she. I guess she's gonna come in back later again. I'm all right. I'm guessing again. But I guess she's gonna come in back later and probably helps Marin-chan and Gojo to, of course, I guess make better photos, right? So it's a really nice combo, right? Gojo is the master tailor. The girls are the master cosplays, right? And of course, her sister is then the master photographer, right? The producer, whatever, in the background. So her and Gojo with either of the girls makes a good team, right? And now of course the girls are gonna make the cosplay together. So yeah, it's a good combo, right? He makes the outfits, she makes the the staging and the what's it call it, the ambulance, the scenery, that stuff, right? That's her thing, right? So yeah, I liked it. I wouldn't mind having more of the we call it educational bit, right? Where she was explaining different angles and so on. Not so much too much, but I mentioned earlier in the reaction part. For example, when I worked on Call of Duty, I worked on that. If you go and look at Call of Duty Zombie Origin, that trailer, I worked on the trailer for a few weeks when they killed the zombies, right? And that's a good example, right? Because when we work on a trailer, right, we do the animation, so too much here, but you animate the character, you animate 3D mods, right? But then the whole camera work, right, has to be moved around, the music, the sound effects, and so on. You can still, change a lot of stuff in the production around that, right? And you can the camera and so on, particularly. So of course it really matters if you're angling this attack at this angle, right, or the character close to that angle and so on. Of course it matters a lot, right? So you can really see the difference between a bad or a good camera work, right? In anything. I mean, both in real life and in gaming or in whatever 3D anime or so on too, right? Yeah, certainly. Massively, right? Like one of the reasons I think you like a lot of these Sakuga fights, in example Demon Slayer and Utsukai's and so on, is because they have this like depth to them, right? That they have this movement of the character and give you like a 3D feel, right? And that's a lot of camera work, right, for that. But anyway, not to get the episode, subscribe, aspects and so on. As I mentioned earlier, we do the Elden Ring later tonight, right, on the channel. I'm gonna play some, finally got the game there. For a few hours now. I'm gonna have to make food and all stuff before. But yeah, so you got Elden Ring, and of course One Piece later tonight, and of course tomorrow Attack on Titan, right, where I feel the arc is finally gonna start for reals probably tomorrow. Well, not start, but it's like the end of that arc or something. I don't know. It's been a bit slow pace, honestly. And there's no way, right? There's no. I said it last year, but there's no way that Attack on Titan, the actual anime, is gonna end in that anime. Either have to cut half the last content, or they're gonna make a movie, right? And I argued for the movie last year, like a year ago. I said they're gonna make a movie, and it certainly looks like that. I cannot see them ending Attack on Titan in the last few episodes now. That doesn't make any sense. So, but we're gonna see tomorrow, I guess, because I think the pacing is really set probably tomorrow, this or next week. How fast you go in the pacing. But anyway, guys, subscribe on. See you. Have a great day.